Bienvenidos a la segunda clase de este curso de inglés intermedio completamente gratis. I upload a new class every Monday and Thursday, so don't forget to subscribe to my channel to receive notifications. And you can join the Facebook group where you can find all of my resources and download them. Today we are going to study present perfect continuous. We already studied present perfect simple in pre-intermediate level. We are also going to look at dynamic and stative verbs. We are going to compare present perfect simple and present perfect continuous. And finally, we are going to look at the difference between since and for. Let's begin. So first of all, we are going to look at present perfect continuous tense. So you know what present perfect means and you know what continuous means. So I'm sure you have a good idea. We studied present perfect in pre-intermediate class 3. We studied present perfect. Okay, for example, I haven't traveled this year. I have been to the gym 3 times this week. No he viajado, he ido. Okay? We studied what present perfect means. For example, we were counting times, right? Counting the number of times something has happened. Contando las veces que algo ha pasado en un periodo de tiempo, in a period of time that started in the past and continues now. For example, I have eaten 3 times today. He comido 3 veces hoy. Today, hoy, empezó en el pasado, a la medianoche, ¿no? Y sigue ahorita. I have eaten 3 times today. So here we have a timeline, okay? A timeline that includes the past and the present. And I have 3 trips to Rome and 1 continuous time living in Seattle, okay? So here are some examples. I have visited Rome 3 times in my life, okay? I have visited Rome 3 times in my life. Or, I have visited Rome 3 times in the last few years. These are 2 examples of present perfect simple, counting the number of times that something has happened, okay? Present perfect continuous is this. I have been living in Seattle for 18 months. It's one continuous action that started in the past and continues now. We can also say, I have been living in Seattle since January 2019. I think in this calendar, January 2019 is here, okay? For and since. For 18 months or since January. We can make a contraction, I have, or I've been living in Seattle since January. This is one continuous action. Started in the past and continues now. So to recap, present perfect continuous is one continuous action that started in the past and continues now. So here are some more examples. She has been studying, or she's been studying at university for 3 years. I've been trying to speak English for a long time. And you haven't been working there for very long. The formula would be this. Your subject, a have or has, and a not if it's negative. Always been, and then always a verb ing, okay? For example, Stuart has been teaching English for a long time. Let's try some exercises. Go to point number 1 in the description to do the 2 activities. The page for the first activity looks like this. Scroll down. Put the verbs into the correct form, present perfect progressive. So all of these are present perfect continuous. Some people say progressive, I say continuous, but it means the same thing, okay? He work in this company since 1985, so that's he has been working. Ha estado trabajando in this company since 1985. I wait for you since 2 o'clock. Is it I have or I has? It's I have. It's always been, and then it's the verb ing. Mary is a woman, she has. Mary has always been, and then always the verb ing. The activity on the second page looks like this. Again, make the present perfect continuous. It could be positive or negative, okay? So be careful. It could be positive or negative, okay? So for example, here it says not work. I not work today, okay? So I haven't been working, right? I haven't or I have not been working. Finish the activities and I will see you in a moment. I hope that went well. Let's continue. So we looked at present perfect continuous. We are going to come back to that in number 3, okay? We're going to make a comparison between present perfect and present perfect continuous. But first, I want to talk about something which is very important, and that is the difference between a dynamic and a stative verb. And the difference affects continuous tenses, okay? So let's have a look. So dynamic and stative verbs, basically a dynamic verb is a verb for an action, right? Like, for example, play. Play is a physical action. And a stative verb is a state. For example, if I say, conozco a Benjamin, I know Benjamin, that is a state. It's not an action. It's a state. Lo conozco. So you have dynamic verbs and stative verbs. Why is this important? Well, because in continuous or progressive tenses, there are some verbs that should not use the ing form, okay? For example, in this case, we do not say, I am knowing Benjamin, even though it is something that is true right now. You remember, right now is associated with present continuous, right? Aunque sea la verdad, ahorita mismo en este momento no se dice estoy conociendo a Benjamin si lo que quiero transmitir es que ya lo conozco. Es un poco confuso en español porque conocer en español sí puede ser dinámico. Puedes decir lo voy conociendo, lo estoy conociendo. En inglés no se puede decir eso. Know, conocer, es un estado. O sí lo conoces o no lo conoces. Si quieres decir conocer en el sentido de estoy conociendo a alguien, ya dijimos eso, ¿no? I am getting to know. Getting to know. In English, we don't say I am knowing Benjamin. Ni en este momento, ni en un proceso. I am knowing Benjamin. Know is a stative verb in English, okay? We say, I know Benjamin. In the same way, in the context of present perfect continuous, we don't say, I have been knowing Benjamin for 10 years. He estado conociendo a Benjamin durante 10 años. No, porque lo que queremos transmitir es que lo conoces durante 10 años. I have known Benjamin for 10 years. Aunque sea algo continuo, even though it's something continuously true for 10 years, you do not say ing, okay? Maybe this is obvious. I thought it was important to highlight. Pensé que era importante destacarlo, aunque a lo mejor sea obvio. Many verbs, it depends on the context, though. For example, have, in the sense of possession, like I have a house. I have a house. You do not say I am having a house. Aunque sea en este momento, you don't say I am having a house. You say I have, right? But have in the sense of having a party is an action. To have a party is an action. So you'd say, I am having a party. That's fine. It depends on the context sometimes. Here's that example again. I'm having a party. I have a house. And here are 2 sentences. Are they dynamic or stative? They both are have. Are they dynamic or stative? So here you have a dynamic, ing, and you have stative, okay? Select one of the 2 answers. Which one do you think is correct? So for the first one, the correct answer is have had. We have had a dog for 6 months. Hemos tenido un perro durante 6 meses. We have had. No se dice hemos estado teniendo un perro durante 6 meses. Ni en español, ¿verdad? She, for 6 months, so ha estado decorando su casa o ha decorado su casa durante 6 meses. In English, we would say has been decorating, okay? Because it's an action, it's a dynamic action, decorate, and she's been doing it for a continuous time, ing. She has been decorating for... And again, the context is key, right? Here's some more. For example, be. He is stupid, or he is being stupid. These are very important differences, right? Él es estúpido o él está siendo estúpido. Stative, permanent, un estado permanente, o temporal dinámico. He is being stupid. Está siendo estúpido. Context. I think that's true. Yo opino, yo creo que eso es verdad. I think that's true. Or the process, the kind of physical action, lo estoy pensando. Okay, so my opinion is a state, es estado, ¿no? Mi opinión. El proceso de pensar es dinámico. I am thinking. Okay, so it depends on the context. It's pretty much the same in Spanish. Es muy parecido en español. I see your point. Entiendo tu punto o reconozco tu punto. Es un estado. Or the physical action, estoy viendo a Ana de Armas. I am seeing Ana de Armas. Or estoy saliendo con Ana de Armas, right? I am seeing, in this case, see means like salir con. In this case, see means understand. So sometimes they are stative verbs and sometimes they are dynamic. And there's my Anna. Okay, so here's some practice exercises. Go to point number 2 in the description to open the activity. So this page is very good for an explanation. Again, you have some grammar notes here. 2 types of verb, stative and dynamic, okay? So what I want to do is to do grammar quiz. So we have quiz 1. Decide whether the verb is stative or dynamic and choose the correct form. Explanations are given and feedback. You, nice because you want to borrow my car. Tú, amable porque quieres que te preste mi carro. So thinking about the context, I think that's you are being, okay? Estás siendo amable o agradable porque quieres algo, pero permanentemente no eres así. All right? Next. She is being really horrible. Is this a temporary state? She may not always be horrible, or she is generally a horrible person. Okay, so she is being horrible. Está siendo, eso es temporal, ¿no? Okay, next one. He, a nap, una siesta. Don't disturb him. No lo vayas a interrumpir. He is having or he has a nap. Okay, in this case, this is a dynamic action. Tomar una siesta, tomando una siesta. That's a dynamic action. He is having. Finish the questions and I'll see you in a moment. I hope that went well. I'm sorry for the distraction with dynamic and stative verbs, but I thought it was important to mention. Let's get back to present perfect and present perfect continuous, okay? So now we're going to look at the comparison between the two. So, here we have some sentences, and I want you to select present perfect or present perfect continuous. Here's the verb. So it's going to be, for example, we have dated or we have been dating. So do you think it's dynamic or stative? Do you think it's a continuous action or not? Okay? It's interesting, okay? So it's good. We've been dating. We've been dating for 3 months. Date, salir con. This is a dynamic action. So we can say it's dynamic, it's continuous, it's for 3 months, a duration of time. So we can use the present perfect continuous. It's good. We have been dating for 3 months. Perfect. Speak. They. Okay, so speak is also a dynamic action, but is it present perfect or present perfect continuous? Let's have a look at the context. A few times. Algunas veces. Okay, algunas veces does not sound like a continuous action. It sounds like a counting of number of times. So I think this is present perfect simple. They have spoken, I think. They've spoken. Perfect. So I'll give you a few seconds to stop the video if you want to do the activity. Okay, here come the answers. 3, 2, 1. I don't think we have met before. I don't think we have met before. So before, en algún momento, no creo que nos hayamos conocido. Es una vez, estamos hablando de una vez o el hecho de que nunca ha pasado, nunca, okay? We've met before. I don't think we have met before. No creo que nos hayamos conocido antes. It's a bit strange to say, no creo que nos hayamos estado conociendo antes. But it doesn't make sense, right? It doesn't make sense in English or in Spanish. She work there since June. So I think since June, desde junio, so we're talking about something continuous. Work is a dynamic verb, so it's also possible in the continuous form. So she has been working there since June. Perfect. He, the same car for 10 years, and the verb is have. Okay. Have, in this case, a possession, is not a dynamic verb. It's a state. It's a stative verb. So even though it's a duration of 10 years, it's not possible to use a continuous tense. So he has had, I think. He's had. I, you, since kindergarten. Love. Okay. Love. Love is one of these verbs where it depends on the context. You can say loving, or you can say loved. What do you think makes more sense here? Te he amado desde kinder, or te he estado amando desde kinder? Amando, loving, kind of has this connotation of like physical love, like appreciating, or maybe even having relations with. So I think it's probably good to use present perfect simple. Okay? I have loved you, or I've loved you since kindergarten. This is a question. You about my high school. Tell. Okay, so tell, contar, is dynamic, but I think we're talking about experiences here, aren't we? Te he contado or te he estado contando? I think it's going to be te he contado, right? Have I told you or have I ever alguna vez, have I ever told you about my high school? And then for a long time, talk is a dynamic verb. A long time is a duration, so I think this is going to be continuous. I'm not sure exactly what the context is. It could be, it's a question, so it starts with have or has. Has he been talking for a long time? Or have you or have I been talking for a long time? Okay, so have I been talking for a long time? So you can see, dynamic and stative is important when you're deciding if you're going to use present perfect simple or present perfect continuous. You have to think, is it a dynamic or a stative action? Is it a continuous time doing a dynamic action or not? I'm going to show you some more exercises, okay? Go to point number 3 in the description to open more exercises. So this is one of the exercises. There are more options in the description, okay? So choose present perfect simple or continuous. So it's similar to the activity that we just finished, okay? Already means ya han llegado o ya han estado llegando. Bueno, creo que va a ser ya han llegado. Have, and it's a question, right? So have, I think it's going to be have they arrived already. Let's check it. Okay, perfect. Lucy, run 2,000 meters today. Okay, 2,000 meters today. Has been running or has run? Run, ran, run. Run is also the past participle. So I think because she's finished now, I'm going to say has run. Okay? Run, ran, run. Lucy has run 2,000 meters today. Let's check. Okay, great. All morning. So this could continue now, okay? Possibly. So I clean all morning. I am fed up. I'm annoyed. Estoy molesto. Entonces creo que sigue la acción ahorita, ¿no? So I'm going to say I have been cleaning all morning. Let's check that one. Okay, great. Let's check if it's accepted to use the contraction. I've been cleaning. Is that acceptable? Let's check. Also possible, okay? So let's change Lucy to Lucy's. Lucy's run 2,000 meters today. Also perfect, okay? So if you want to, you can start practicing using the contractions. Finish the activities and I will see you in a moment. I hope that went well. I have one more thing to talk about with present perfect and present perfect continuous, okay? And that is the difference between since and for. Now, we already mentioned it in one or two examples, but here we go. Here's our example, and we have since and we have for, right? In the examples that we said at the beginning. So here's the example from the start of the class, and we have since and we have for. So it's very important to remember that for is for duration and since is from the start. So we're talking about this continuous action, an action that started in the past and continues now. For example, I have been living in Seattle, okay? I can say for 18 months, the duration, or I can say since January 2019. So basically we're looking at the difference between durante, 18 meses, and desde enero, okay? So the difference between durante and desde, it's up to you which one you use. If you want to practice the difference between since and for, you can go to point number 4 in the description to open the activity. The activity for since and for, it looks like this, okay? You just have to decide, is this a duration or a starting point? 4 o'clock is a starting point, okay? So we're going to say since. 20 minutes is a duration, so we're going to say for, all right? 6 years is a duration, so we're going to say for. It should be very easy, okay? You can finish this very quickly. Finish the activity and I'll see you in a moment. I hope that went well. One more thing. It's actually quite common for people to reduce I have been to I've been. These are both grammatically correct. But in speaking, especially in the United States, sometimes people say I been, and sometimes people say I been. They say it. They shouldn't write it. Sometimes people might write I been because they don't know grammar very well, but in speaking, it's quite possible to hear this. And also, generally speaking, when you're listening to English and somebody is speaking really fast, it might be hard to hear the v or the I have. I've been. It's a very, very small pronunciation. So often when you hear it in the street, it might sound like I been, or even I been. So somebody might say, I've been to New York 3 times. I've been to New York 3 times. So somebody from the United States, from, from Alabama, might say, I've been to New York 3 times. I've been 3 times. What they're saying is, I have been. But in pronunciation, in the usage, it reduces down to I been or I been sometimes. Sorry about my American accent. No offense. Okay, song time. So I was looking at different songs. There's a few, right? Popular song from 2019 called I've Been Waiting. This is present perfect continuous. He estado esperando. There's in this song there are 2 examples. Okay, so it says I've been waiting up. Te he estado esperando, and I've been dreaming. He estado soñando. Those are 2 examples in this song. There's also a famous song called Have You Ever Seen the Rain, which is a really, really fantastic song. And there's one example in that song, which is It's Been Coming for Some Time. Ha estado viniendo, ha estado por venir, pero bueno, ha estado llegando durante mucho tiempo. Okay, it's been coming for some time. And Phil Collins, In the Air Tonight, a very famous song as well. He says, I've been waiting for this moment all my life. I have been waiting. Again, I've been waiting for this moment all my life. But the song with the most examples is a song from 2003 called In the Shadows by the Rasmus. And when this song was released, I was 16 years old and I didn't like it very much. But now I listen to it again, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. So here's the song, right? Basically, I want you to find the examples of present perfect continuous in this song, okay? I will tell you the answers in 5 seconds, so stop the video, go listen to the song if you want to. But here are the answers, okay? 3, 2, 1. We have, I have been watching, I've been waiting, I've been searching, I've been living, and repeating again, I've been watching, I've been waiting, I've been searching, I've been living, and then finally, I've been walking. Lately, I've been walking. Okay, so the lyrics basically is talking about how he doesn't sleep. No sleep until I'm done with finding the answer. No voy a dormir hasta que haya encontrado la respuesta. No pararé. I won't stop before I find a cure for this cancer. No me pararé antes de encontrar una cura para este cáncer. Sometimes I feel like I'm going down. I'm so disconnected. A veces me siento como que estuviera bajando. Estoy tan desconectado. Somehow I know that I am haunted to be wanted. Haunted, I forget what the Spanish is for haunted. Cuando te sigue una fantasma. Somehow I know that I am haunted to be wanted. Doesn't make much grammatical sense. De alguna manera yo sé que me sigue una fantasma para ser querido. Para ser querida. De alguna forma yo sé que me sigue una fantasma para ser querida. That's a kind of a strange sentence. He estado viendo, he estado esperando in the shadows, en las sombras, durante mi tiempo, for my time. I've been searching, I've been living, he estado buscando, he estado viviendo, for tomorrow's all my life. That's an interesting expression. He estado viviendo para las mañanas toda mi vida. Como si estuviera viviendo para mañana siempre y esperando mañana siempre y no disfrutando el momento. In the shadows, en las sombras, they say that I must learn to kill before I can feel safe. Dicen que debo aprender a matar antes de poder sentirme seguro, pero I would rather kill myself than turn into their slave. Pero preferiría matarme antes de ser su esclavo. Esto es muy de los 2000, de cuando yo era un adolescente y wow. Okay, I would rather kill myself than turn into their slave. Yeah, down with society, man. The government, ooh. Sometimes I feel I should go and play with the thunder. A veces siento que debo ir a jugar con los truenos. Somehow I just don't want to stay and wait for a wonder. De alguna forma no quiero quedarme a esperar una maravilla. And again with the chorus, I've been watching, I've been waiting in the shadows for my time. I've been searching, I've been living for tomorrow all my life. And lately, recientemente, he estado caminando. I have been walking. So it's an emo song, definitely, about how the world is a bad place. And yeah, that's everything for today. Don't forget, if you want to take the exam, it's in the description so you can check your understanding of today's class. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and to join the Facebook group if you want to download all of my resources. As always, thank you for studying English with me, and I will see you next class.